What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Podcast. That's right, your favorite podcast that happens every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. With me today, as always, my compadre. What's up, Mr. Aka? How you doing, bud?
I'm really good, actually. I'm tired and I'm sore and I'm old and I'm grumpy. But other than all of that, super good. How are you with that fresh haircut you got going on?
I kind of feel just like you there, bud.
Yeah, right.
It's been very, very, very busy these last 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And it's coming to an end now, and
burn in the midnight oil. But yes, things are winding down for the Geeks and Co. I've got another about a month of activities after this, but come November, I'm finally at a point where like things will finally be like.
Yeah, I mean,
slow down. Like I've got a birthday next weekend, and the weekend after that, I've got the Ren Fair, I've got Crow Fest, and then the weekend after that, I've got a Halloween party, and then I'm shooting a film, and then the weekend after that, I have another Halloween party. So it's like October sucks. I am not a fan. And then thankfully in November, December, January, I'm just gonna be like, if anybody wants me, I'll be in my trailer. Like, don't bother me. I'm just. I don't have a trailer, but you know what I'm saying. I just don't want to be.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But
well, we're not going to be that busy. We have one gig going on Friday the 13th, and that's it. Beyond that, we are pretty much done for this con season.
That's what I would recommend, but I'm stupid. People say, "Hey, do you want to do this thing?" And I go, "Yes." So. Oh, by the way, for anybody watching, I know we don't have a whole lot of people in here yet, but. I did put it out on my story a couple of days ago. So we are organizing a landing party, a Star Trek landing party at Oxford Renfest on October 15th. So that is a Sunday. It is in Dorchester, Ontario. You can look it up on a map. If you're in southwestern Ontario, it's near to where London is. It's not that far from London. And there are some barking dogs that are super not happy right now. And then, yeah, so I think there's 8 or 9 of us currently. It is an open invitation. If you have a Trek cosplay and you want to join us, you are more than welcome to do so. I think the ticket's $20 for the day. It is a full-blown Renaissance festival, by the way. There's like knights and jousting and horses and trebuchets and arrows and bows and swords and shields and all kinds of cool stuff. But we're going to go in all of our Star Trek gears because we're assholes basically, and everybody's going to hate us for it. But we're also going to like have a little like video thing that we're going to do.
I would totally be in for that if it wasn't so far.
No, I know. And I know it's far for a lot of people, but if you are free that day, you are going to be in the area and you want to come out and have some fun. And by the way, guys, it won't just be like we do our little video for Star Trek and then everybody kind of fucks off. Like it's still a Renaissance fest. So like, come on out and have a good time with it too. Like enjoy the Ren Fest, get some fudge, have a beer, eat a turkey leg, eat a pickle, like whatever, right? Like it's a good time, but we're still going to fuck around in our Star Trek uniforms and make a lot of
shoot some knights with your phasers, which
going to make a lot of people very mad. So might wear my garb with crown badge. Thank you, Stephanie. Absolutely. Tanith. Yeah, we are. Are you coming, Tanith? I put it out on my story. I didn't get a response from you. If you are coming, let me know. And that way I can add you to the chat. So
that seems to be what she's saying in the chat now.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Good evening, fellow geeks. So, okay. Well, nobody tells me nothing. Is Bradward coming with you? Because I'm sorry, I'm organizing this here.
We got a bunch of people in the chat right now. Michael's there. Megan's there. Tanith, obviously. Keith. What's up, everybody? Red Moon, Stephanie. Who else is in there? Wayne is there.
Looks like Nada just got there. Hello, Nada.
Yeah. I mean, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight's going to be a bit of a update, news, talking about what's going on. I know you seem to have a list of stuff you want to get to tonight there, bud.
Well, story, and I know you're not a Potter guy, but unfortunately, I'm gonna start us off on a downer because I don't want to end us off on a downer. But Michael Gambon, who played Dumbledore for 6 of the 8 movies, passed away today. So the second Dumbledore, and a long-time British actor, done so many things, but obviously best known as the second Dumbledore, has passed away. So yes, so sad. Silky Sea, purple crying face. Yeah. If you're a Potterhead like me, it is a sad day. I've been very vocal. I much prefer Richard Harris's take on the character over Michael Gambon. Having said that, I mean, we lost Richard Harris. He wanted to keep playing Dumbledore and he couldn't because he passed. And Michael took up. I couldn't imagine having to try to follow someone like Richard Harris, who's like one of the most legendary Hollywood actors of all time.
He did a pretty good job. I mean, look, I'll admit, Harris's Dumbledore. Like, I'm not a big Potterhead, but I've still seen, I think, all of the movies but the last one.
Right.
And I mean, he did a good job.
Oh no, 100%. Of course he did. Yes.
I would bet you somebody that doesn't know and that's not into everything and that doesn't know the actors may not even realize from one movie to the next that 3, 4, 5 years later, all of a sudden it's a different actor. But
yeah, maybe. No, that's fair.
He was playing Harris's Dumbledore. He wasn't.
Well, the problem was Harris had a lot more. Harris was a lot closer to the book Dumbledore, who was a very calm individual. He was still forthright, but he never sort of got amped up or freaked out. Everything was always completely in his control. Whereas Michael Gambon was a little more effusive, a little more engaged, a little more, so it was definitely a different take, but again, at the same time, it was still amazing. Yeah. Raise your wands tonight, nerds. Absolutely. Yeah. Toast one to Professor Dumbledore. Your favorite spell, Expelliarmus, whatever you want to do. Hello from Dean. What's going on? Dean is the man.
What's up, Dean?
Welcome to our Spider-Man podcast, Dean.
I don't want to get into the whole Ahsoka thing because, if you guys want to know what we think about the first half of Ahsoka, you can go check out the video on the YouTube channel. But what do you think of these last couple episodes?
I was not a fan of 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it reminded me of Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. Yeah, you are going to have dinosaurs at your dinosaur theme park, right? Yeah, you are going to have Ahsoka on your Ahsoka show. Yes. Oh, no, you're not? Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks. So 7 was better. For sure, it was better. Here's the problem. I don't fucking care. I don't. There's so much I don't care about. And now there's only one episode to kind of tie it all in. And I already don't care enough about what I've seen so far. So I'm just like... So yeah,
this is my problem from the beginning with this show, right? I'm loving it because I'm already invested in these characters.
Of course. Yes.
I got 7 seasons of
Clone Wars.
11 seasons or 12 seasons total of Clone Wars and Rebels or whatever it is.
No, for sure.
So I'm already invested in these characters and I know what's going on and I understand the reason why they're at the point they're at. And today, seeing Ezra and Sabine fight together, I mean, listen, I can't explain to you how that scene was right out of the cartoons.
That's awesome. I don't have any investment or emotional attachment to Ezra because I don't care.
Yeah.
I've never seen him before. He's just this guy with these cool blue eyes. That's I will say this. The production value on this one is so much higher. It doesn't look like they're just standing on the volume all the time. You can tell there are certain scenes clearly that they're standing on the volume, but there's a lot of scenes where it looks like they're not. The costuming and the makeup on the show is outstanding. And it's introduced a couple of really, really cool, Baylan Skoll might be the coolest new Star Wars character to come down the pipe in a long, long time.
Yeah.
A completely made up character for this show. Very, very, very cool. So there are some pluses to it. Just the major plot points in some of the characters. There's only one episode left. And I understand this is the precursor to the movie that he's putting together. That's bringing all of these together. Not Andor, obviously. Data's waiting for Andor. I am not. I didn't really care for Andor, but I get that there's a lot of people that liked it. Yeah, you're right. We can't get tossed up in Ahsoka because we've got videos to produce and everything else after shows to produce. So if you want to know our opinions on Ahsoka, when it's all said and done, we got one episode to go, and then we'll do an after show for the second half of Ahsoka, where we do a deep, deep nuggety dive on however the show ends. Because I don't think it's going to end. I think there's a couple of things that we clearly know are going to happen, but It's not going to be a definitive ending. And I don't think there's going to be
No.
a second season. I think this is literally this is an MCU type of thing. This is like, it's a lead into the movie. Filoni's movie. He said it's like a Mandoverse style, like bringing everybody together for it. So Avenger style. So
the understanding, and maybe I understood this wrong. Right? Like I don't have any kind of in with Disney, right? So I don't have any more information on what's out there, but my impression was that this movie that he was making was going to be the culmination of the Filoniverse, right? The culmination of that storyline leading into the sequel movies. Now, I could be completely wrong.
No. That's the impression. I think, unfortunately, initially, I think when they were talking about it, I think most people like myself assumed that he was only talking about the TV, like the live action TV universe. And with more Ahsoka going on, it looks like it's a culmination of everything that he's done, which for people like me is going to leave us with their cheese out in the wind, because there's so much of this I don't give a fuck about because I don't know anything about it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I will say some of the little stuff. Anyways, no, we can't. We'll do that on the after show. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
Keep it cool, bud. Keep it cool.
I know. Shifting gears a little bit, but let's stick with television. Loving Lower Decks this season, as I've loved Lower Decks every season.
Lower Decks is really good this season again.
It's just doing it all so well. Like it's just like sometimes you're just like, but it's like it's getting you so heavily invested in the characters now. It's not just all about the one-liners or the humor or whatever. This week's episode was another banger. Plot-wise, it wasn't great this week's episode. It was kind of like, but the execution of it, the way they got all the characters, it's fantastic. If you're not watching Lower Decks and you're even a smidgen of a Trek fan, you've got to watch Lower Decks. It is.
Yeah. Other than Strange New Worlds, specifically Next Gen, you will love Lower Decks.
Oh,
I mean, they are real heavy in that continuity, right? Like the Next Gen DS9 Voyager. That's kind of where they sit, right? They're after Voyager.
I don't know what that middle one was that you said, but yeah, definitely Next Gen and Voyager for sure. They
I saw a video, a short today of Marina Sirtis on a stage doing a panel saying that Jonathan Frakes calls it Deep Sleep 9.
Yeah, thanks, man. Me and Riker like this.
I thought that was pretty funny.
This. Yeah.
I disagree, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Low budget Babylon 5. Thanks.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Completely forgot Lower Decks was out again. I mean, Lower Decks is the best. Makes me so happy, says Michael. Megan Murray. The other Megan this time. I completely forgot. You didn't forget. You were selectively not remembering because you don't enjoy the show. Lower Decks clearly love Star Trek. This is the key for me. This is where, and we've talked about this before, but this is where it's a difference between a straight up parody and then having fun with something that you clearly love, and that's why you're having fun with it. So I always equate Lower Decks to the Orville because it's the same kind of concept where you can tell it's more of a love letter. Yes, they're making fun of some stuff, but it's not the same thing as like taking the piss on it. It's more like, we love this so much, we're going to find the things that we all find funny about it, and we're going to poke that. And it brings, I feel like it brings Trekkies together even harder when we can all point to that one thing and laugh about it. Like,
it's not universally loved though.
It's
a lot of people hate it. Right?
It's Trek. Nothing is universally loved in Trek.
Well, fair enough.
The fandom isn't as toxic as Star Wars, but it has its fair share of people. And there's a whole cadre of, there's like a whole cadre of people that just absolutely fucking hate the Star Wars sequels. There's a whole cadre of people that just fucking hate all the new Trek, every single one of the new Trek. They just blindly hate it because it's new Trek. Cool, man. Like, and hey, man, some of the early new Trek wasn't like,
or do they just not like Discovery?
No, they didn't like the first and second season of Picard either, right?
Well, I didn't really like the first and second season of Picard either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's really funny. Third season was fantastic. Strange New World is fantastic. Lower Decks is fantastic.
It's funny how our perceptions change. So the other day, Brian 360 up at the top was just saying he went back and listened to a podcast from a year and a half ago about the order in which to watch Star Wars. I haven't urged to watch everything. So I too have been listening to some of the old podcasts just to see some of our opinions of what we talked about. And we were podcasting
at the Brian, time. By the way, for
awesome, dude. Thank you so much. we had a podcast some time ago when Picard season 2 was just ending, and we were both raving about how great season 2 was. It's so funny. Yeah, we sure were. I'll send you a link to the episode on Spotify. You should hear us talk about how good season 2 of Picard was. Yeah, so it's one of those things where, like, I feel like
one of those things where it was so much better than season 1 that we were raving that it was good.
Well, first of all, I don't know that it was so much better than season 1 personally. That whole time travel thing was absolute horseshit, but I think it was just that newlywed glow because we had just gotten it.
Yeah, maybe.
And we were like, oh, cool. And the Q storyline got tied up, and we saw guys
that I liked. I will admit that the Q storyline, the Q ending.
Yes. But then as it sort of aged in our minds, and then of course season 3 comes out and just takes a giant dump on it because it's so much better than anything else that had been New Trek up to that point.
Yeah.
Fair
enough.
Nada saying she watched one episode and didn't like it. Shakes old lady fist at Sky. Yeah, it's okay. You could be part of the problem, Nada. That's okay. We understand. Listen, change is good. Growth. Evolution. It's okay.
Not everybody has to like the same thing, right? I mean, it's not because we love it that everybody has to love it.
They talk too fast. It's annoying. Well, I mean, I don't know. Doesn't your video player have that, like, you can throw it down to like half speed or something? I mean, the episode will take like 40 minutes to watch, but at least they won't be talking so fast anymore. I don't know what to tell you. No, and I don't like doing that either. I don't like being one of those people. As I get older, I try to get out of some of these fucking social tropes where I'm like, I can't understand how you don't like this, or how do you like that? I can't believe you like that. People like what they like and people don't like what they don't like. We're all different. We all have different opinions that are based on different things. So I try not to. If you gave it a shot and you didn't enjoy it, cool. There's a ton of stuff that people, Andor is a perfect example. Rogue One is another great example. People love those two properties, and I didn't really care much for either one. Like, both of them were like just to me. So
I loved Rogue One. Andor, not so much. Andor, I found too.
See, Nada, see, now we can commerce again. I did love Discovery and Picard though, all of it. See, now we're back.
See, and that's where
now we're back. Now we're good.
That's where you lose me. Discovery, especially the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm not denying that the first 2 seasons of Discovery were better than the last 2 seasons of Discovery. I'm not denying that. That is 100% accurate, but that doesn't mean that the last 2 seasons because we were dog shit and then there was nothing redeeming in them. I still like those 2 seasons. They just weren't as good as the first 2 seasons. That's all. People used to talk trash about the Berman and Braga era. Kurtzman seemed to make me rethink that. I hate to break it to you, sir, but people still talk shit, especially about Rick Berman in particular, but not because of how he conducted himself, more so than anything else. Like,
there was a lot going on there.
Not a good dude to work with or for. So, but yeah, having said that, guys, I mean, the nice part is, and I think our good friend Captain Kirk has said it best, we're not in the golden age of Trek. We're in the platinum age of Trek. And by the way, speaking of news, I shouldn't say news because there's not a whole lot of news. Oh, there's another huge news thing I forgot to bring up at the top of the podcast. I'll get to that in a second. They were talking to Chris Pine. He was up promoting something, and they asked him about Star Trek 4, the movie, and he said it's technically still in development. It is not dead. They are still working on it. Now, that is going to lead me into the other huge piece of news that came out this week is the writer's strike is finally over. So
as of Wednesday, 9 a.m.
So they
9 p.m.
So if you've been in a union before, you're in a union now, you kind of know how this works. So at the table, they came to an agreement. That agreement, that write-up has to then be taken to the members. The members have to vote en masse to ratify it. So it has to be a majority vote to ratify it, and then it is ratified. That whole process, assuming they approve it, which they've just announced they did, usually takes 3 to 4 days. So the assumption is they'll be back up no later than October 1st. Having said that, here's the catch. A lot of the writers want to stay on strike until the actors have signed their deal, which they have not yet. Now, they weren't even at the table, the AMPTP and the SAG-AFTRA Guild. They weren't even at the table, but now apparently they do have a meeting scheduled for Monday. So if we all cross our fingers, we can have both strike actions done, and every one of these TV shows and movie productions can get back involved, including Star Trek 4. Again, can't really move forward on developing Star Trek 4 because development needs writers, and all the writers have been on strike for over like 150 days. So everything was stagnant. And then the actors left. Deadpool 3 was literally in the middle of shooting when the actor strike came down. So they all had to leave. They literally had to stop production that day, and they have not done a single thing since then. So everybody's chomping at the bit to get this done because all it's doing is just costing everybody money. Keep your fingers crossed for the Monday meeting with SAG-AFTRA, guys, because if we can get both of these things under wraps and done and ratified and voted, then we can get back to making cool movies and TV. Understand, though, too, guys, much like with the pandemic, there's going to end up being a content gap for a bit. Like those 100 and some odd days don't just disappear. There was nothing being produced for those times. So there's going to be a time in the near future where there's just not going to be a whole lot available because nothing was made during this time when normally this stuff would go into production. My guess is you're probably talking early next year, especially into mid next year. You're probably going to see there's going to be kind of a dearth of what could be good. Am I dying for a new episode of Bob's
Well,
Burgers?
a lot of the things that, I mean, in old television terms, right, you would have lost this season.
Right.
Because this season would have started last week.
No, 100%.
Right? So this season is lost. At least, typically, they would have split the season into two. Right, you've got the fall season, and then you've got the Christmas break or the holiday break, or I think it's the Thanksgiving break in the US, or
right,
whatever it is, and then it starts again in like late January, early February. Until,
I mean, a little bit, but now with streaming, this season
that doesn't exist anymore.
The seasons aren't as critical as they were with network television. Oh, poor Steve, our good boy collaborated cosplay here. I'm gonna have to figure out a Trek cosplay now. I blame you two. You are welcome. You are welcome.
You already have a badge, bud, so you know.
Yep. Nate is saying Hugh Jackman's clock is ticking on that body. The studios will cave. The Deadpool Wolverine effect is real. Mr. Jackman has all the best supplements to get his body into shape. So I wouldn't worry too much about our boy Hugh. But new episodes of BB are out in a couple of weeks. I don't know what BB is. Oh, Bob's Burgers. Yes, there you go. So new episodes of Bob's Burgers come out. So they did a movie too, didn't they?
Did they really?
I think they did a Bob's Burgers movie.
Interesting.
I didn't see it, but
no, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I got through the first few seasons of Bob Burgers. I really liked it. One of those things where I kind of didn't really get back to it, type of thing. I will. It's a nice little thing to have off in the background. So, do you have any juicy geeky tidbits, sir, that you would like to share before I hijack some more of them here?
No, actually, I'm just asking Miss Jennifer for a favor here to bring something up here. We are going to be in Windsor, Ontario this weekend. If you don't know, it is the Northern Nationals Collectors Convention. 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 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 Sunday.
You'll wonder why you bought a ticket for your whole seat, because you're only going to use the edge of it.
Yeah, and we're going to be there all weekend. We're going to have a whole booth set up there. Doc Ock is not coming. We're going 6 hours away, guys. We have stuff we need to bring, so unfortunately, Doc Ock is staying behind. Thank you very much.
Just going to really quickly, Andrew, we did address that at the top of the podcast, the Michael Gambon. Yeah. Very, very sad. Really quickly here, JS, question from Wayne. If we want to buy those Star Trek badges you guys made, how will we get one? Well, you guys didn't make it. That guy over there made it. Also made that kick-ass Bo-Katan helmet that's in his hand right now. So if you would like a Star Trek badge, message JS. He'll be the guy to hook you up for that.
Yeah, so I'm out of badges now. I sold my last one actually at London Comic Con. So the last batch is now gone. I am planning on making another batch. This next batch will not be 3D printed. They will actually be resin casts. And I'm also going to be doing I don't have it here, but I actually bought a shadow box, a small square shadow box, where I'm hoping to do a little bit of a kit where it's the 3 badges plus the medical concept badge. I'll call it that because I don't technically use the medical badge in Strange New Worlds. So all 4 badges in a nice case that you can put on your wall.
Fair enough.
And they're going to be resin casts. So if you guys want individual badges, that'll be the time to get them when I get those going as well. So There's a new batch that's going to be coming over the winter for sure. Check the website. As soon as they become available, the website will have them back up. Although I think they're up now where they shouldn't because now they're gone. But if Jamie, if you're listening, if you could please take the badges off the website. And but yes, in the next couple, let's say months, there will be some more badges available.
That is fair. I'm going to share some DCU news, courtesy of James Gunn himself. Apparently, James Gunn is pretty active on that Threads app that everybody jumped onto and then nobody used. But apparently, James Gunn is still using it. So he's talking about some of the confusion surrounding the new DCU, what's going to be canon, what's not, who's going to keep coming back as their character, who's not. So he did try to ease some of this, but at the same time, he also said something along the lines of like, we're kind of glad that people are a little bit confused because that gives us the opportunity to show you what is in fact going on, because of course nobody has seen anything of the DCU yet because the first project has not come out. So he said nothing is canon
that have come out. We're not
part of the new DCU.
No.
So nothing is canon until Creature Commandos and then Superman Legacy. So Creature Commandos will be sort of like a sprinkling on top, and then Superman Legacy will be a much deeper dive into the new DC universe. He did confirm, though, 3 actors that are locked in to retain their roles, only 3. So the gentleman that played Blue Beetle, Viola Davis that played Amanda Waller, and John Cena that played Peacemaker, which of course makes sense since Peacemaker was James Gunn's show. So
that's it.
Nobody knows if they are going to be alternate universe versions or if they're going to be sort of variants or what they're going to be, or if they're going to be just leavovers from the previous universe. Nobody really knows, but I did get a chance to watch Blue Beetle. I did enjoy it. There was a lot more references to my guy, Ted Kord, in the movie than I thought there was going to be. I mean, it was still a fairly generic film with a fairly generic villain, but a lot of the themes, the family themes, the community themes are really, really good. The suit is dope. It's a practical suit, by the way, that he wears instead of a CG suit. So it looks very, very real and very good on him. The actor himself did a great job. So if you want just one of those, like, turn your brain off for 90 minutes and just enjoy the visuals, enjoy the comedy, and enjoy like the family dynamic that they have, it's pretty great for that. If you're in there looking for like The Dark Knight, you're probably going to be disappointed. So go in with a certain set of expectations. I think the trailer sets you up pretty good for that.
But this is the origin story, right? So
yes,
you get to see all the other Beetles, right?
You definitely get references to Dan Garrett, the first Blue Beetle, and then Ted Kord, the second Blue Beetle. And then
this is the origin of this.
This is the origin of Jaime Reyes, the newest Blue Beetle in the comics.
Yes.
With borrowed elements from some of the comics and a little bit of Young Justice as far as like how he physically manifests the suit and everything else. But they don't really get into, if you saw Young Justice and the overarching plot for that, they don't touch on that at all. So I don't know if they're going to try to save that for a sequel, but it didn't make very much money. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure the overarching story is going to be different, right? The Young Justice story, they melded his origin into their overarching story. You know what I mean?
Which was the Reach, which was still like things from his sort of whatever. And none of that's even discussed as far as the film.
But we get to see, though, the other Beetles, don't we? Like the other suits.
Not in the movie, no. We get to see, oh, sorry. Yes, not the other scarabs, not like whatever, but yes, you get to see my Ted Kord, like the 80s.
No, but you don't get to see the green one and the bad one, the big black one, or no?
No, sir. His is the only scarab suit you see in the film.
That's
you just get to see the suits of Dan Garrett and Ted Kord.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I haven't had a chance to see it, obviously, yet.
No, Keith saying Blue Beetle was fun, and Megan Avery is saying that I thought Blue Beetle was so fun. Mario Lopez is great. Happy rolling. He's definitely the comedy of relief, as he should be, for sure.
A lot of people are really loving it.
Megan Avery also saying, also just watch the new TMNT, and oh my God, I fell back in love with them. That's good. I've heard
that's pretty good too.
I've heard it's very, very good. Yeah. So I've only ever heard that some of the animation is not janky, but it's almost like it's not symmetrical. So for some people that causes them an issue or whatever, but
See, Keith is saying here that the other color scarabs were shown during the opening.
The scarabs, yes, but not the suits.
But we didn't actually see them in the movie. Interesting. So maybe they're keeping that for
possibly future things, depending on what James Gunn is going to do with the character moving forward. I don't see the film getting a sequel, but he might appear in some sort of a team up movie or what have you. But
that would be interesting.
We shall see. But yes, just those 3 actors so far confirmed as far as what's coming back. So I would imagine you would probably start getting confirmation on some of the other Peacemaker actors like Vigilante or his dad. Maybe Robert Patrick played his dad in it. I mean, you'll probably see some of that. There is going to be a season 2 of Peacemaker. I don't imagine they're just going to hit a giant fucking reset button and just do a completely different show for the second season that just also happens to star John Cena as the main character.
Yeah, I can't see
fucking suit and everything. So I'm sure it's going to be a continuation of. I'm sure whoever was in the first season is going to continue on into the second season. But as far as major characters go, it's just those 3 that are.
Which, by the way, that show is way underrated as far as I'm concerned. That show was amazing. I loved it. He really hit on something with that show.
I watched the first episode and I fucking hated it. And I couldn't.
Really?
Yeah. And I never watched any more of it. The only thing I've seen is the clip of the show's been up for long enough. Spoiler alert. The Justice League does show up. At least 4 or 5 of them anyways. You only physically see Aquaman, Jason Momoa, and Ezra Miller Flash, but Superman is like hanging in the air. You just can't see his Batman is standing there. You just can't see his face. Like the fucking Justice League shows up. So I've seen that clip a bunch of times. And then they make a fish fucking joke because James Gunn. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Not my cup of tea. It's a little too in your face.
I'm worried.
It's trying a little too hard to be outrageous and to be whatever. So
I'm a little bit worried what that's going to mean for Superman.
He's not done a serious film. He's not done one single, whether he's written it or he's directed it. He's done some funny films that have heart, but he's never done like a straight up take of something. So
I'm a little bit worried. I've never seen Superman as a comedic type character. Although I say that, but let's be honest, like Lois and Clark, that was a sitcom, right?
Yeah, I couldn't stand that show. But I mean, definitely in the original movies, the way Christopher Reeve played up the clumsy Clark, there were definitely like some comedic moments. And of course, we can't forget Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor and then Ned Beatty's Otis. Oh my fucking god, that's just that if it's that style, I'm on board, man. That's cool. A little bit of levity. If it's a quip fest like the Marvel films, no, fuck that. That's not what I want in my Superman movie.
No, but I miss the Gene Hackman.
Oh my god,
Lex. That for me was the definitive Lex.
Yeah. It was for me too, right up until Smallville. When I saw Rosenbaum,
yeah, he was good too.
7 seasons, he really put his stamp on it.
Yeah,
especially for like a network TV show that, were it made today, would look like that show's it was like on the CW or whatever it was called at the time. So it didn't have the budget, and it was like 22 episodes a season. If that was a streaming show now, if Smallville came out now, it'd be dope as fuck.
Yeah, it would be a very different.
Good. Now it's a little dated. Unfortunately, some of the effects are pretty laughable. But, anyways,
yeah, it was still good to get that origin story and a lot of these characters and the acting. The actors were so good.
Oh yeah,
right. They portrayed their characters so well that it was hard not to fall in love with that show.
No, for sure. Collaborators just saying Blue Beetle, though, God, that was good. It really tipped me towards DC more. That's awesome, dude.
There you go.
That's definitely the intention. Dean's asking, what's the new movie coming out? The Creator looks like a Save the Robot movie.
That looks really good.
I don't think I've seen. Is there a trailer out for it?
There is.
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
It's Save the Kid style movie,
right?
But
the kid's a robot.
The kid's a robot.
Okay.
But there looks to be like a population of robots. Like listen, you got to check it out. It looks amazing. The effects look great. The story looks great. I'm really, 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 really looking forward to that one.
Nice. Another trailer dropped today too, by the way. Argyle.
Now, what was that?
So it's Matthew Vaughn's new film. So Matthew Vaughn, for the uninitiated, brought us Kingsman as well as Kick-Ass. So that's Matthew Vaughn. So it's a new spy thriller called Argyle that stars Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Bryce Dallas Howard. So it's like a spy thriller, but it's kind of like Romancing the Stone a little bit. Bryce Dallas Howard is an author, and she's writing these spy novels, and then it turns out a lot of what she's writing is actually happening. So she gets thrust into the spy world. Like Sam Rockwell is the actual espionage spy guy that runs into her and has to start protecting her, because now this criminal underworld is like, how does this bitch know that she's writing our shit, what's actually happening? So Henry Cavill is playing the protagonist in her fictional book series. So when you're seeing him on screen, it's almost like he's not an actual real life character in the movie. It's Sam Rockwell that's actually the real life character. So it's like Sam Rockwell playing Henry Cavill playing a spy. It looks fucking great, dude. Like, I like Matthew Vaughn. He can't do a sequel to save his life because Kick-Ass 2 was dog shit and Kingsman: The Golden Circle was good, but not as good as the first one. But for initial things, he does it very well. And if you haven't watched the trailer, it dropped today. Go check out that trailer. Henry Cavill's haircut alone is fucking hilarious. I don't know how they
I can see the thumbnail right now
to throw that haircut on him and convince them that that's something that they should do. But holy shit, dude. Like, it's bad. Hold on. I'll put it on the screen here.
Yeah, he almost looks like he's part CG.
It's yeah. You get this? You get like that's whoo. That's my man's hair right there. That's what they've done to the world's most beautiful human. They did that to him. That's rough, buddy. That's a rough go. Even still, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would still be that man's boyfriend in a heartbeat, but still, that's a look, man.
I'm gonna have to go watch this trailer when we're done here.
It definitely, like, if you liked Kingsman, you're gonna like.
I loved
this trailer.
it. Yeah,
then you're gonna be down.
Yeah, the second one was so-so.
Yeah,
but,
I liked aspects of it, but overall, it was a more difficult watch than the first one for sure. The first one was just so much fun. So future Jeff cosplay. No, I don't. First of all, I can't get that level of volume. That's not Pike hair. I mean, that's like, there's no way. Excuse me, Jeff. Yes, Michael. How can I help you, sir?
Guys,
because I would be his boyfriend. Is that what it is?
If anybody wants, by the way, a Bo-Katan helmet, this one will be up for sale. That's why I brought it up here, actually. It's not quite done. I mean, I've got a little bit of weathering to do to it tonight, but we're 98% there. So, guys, if anybody wants one, it will be going up on Geeks and Co store. Well, after the con, because I'm bringing it to the con. If somebody buys it at the con, then it'll be gone. But after that, if you want yourself a Bo-Katan helmet,
do it.
There's also an armor helmet and a Din Djarin helmet coming. So I'm doing all three. So if you want the set,
so many
let me know.
The second one did have Pedro Pascal in it, who makes really good choices for television shows, not as good choices on the movie front, but solid choices on the TV side. Every TV show he's been in has been a banger. So I don't know what to tell you, but yes, definitely check out the Argyle trailer. It is fantastico. For my animated guys, for anybody that's into it, Rick and Morty, the trailer for season 7 of Rick and Morty just dropped with an interesting twist.
I didn't see that either.
So if you are familiar with Rick and Morty, it was created by two guys, Dan Harmon, who created Community, the TV show, the live action TV show, and a guy named Justin Roiland. And Justin Roiland is also the gentleman that voices Rick and Morty. Unfortunately, Justin Roiland had some domestic issues and was fired from the show. And so they hired some sound alikes that are trying to mimic Rick and Morty. They hired two guys, one Rick and one Morty, to mimic those voices for the 7th season. And they dropped the title, they dropped the trailer. And I got to say, they did a pretty good job. You can tell it's not them, but it's very, very, very close. Like, they did a very good job on finding guys that sound like those two characters, especially since those two characters were voiced by the same person. So if you're a Rick and Morty fan, then check it on out. Like I said, the trailer just dropped. I think it dropped yesterday. It looks like a ton of fun. I'm on season 5 or 6 right now of Rick and Morty. I am enjoying it. So it's not for everybody. I get it. But
Morty's 90% there. Rick's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
trailer now.
Yeah. Not bad, right? Someone asking about the Continental on Prime. Has anyone watched the Continental, which is the John Wick prequel? I
have not.
I think only the first episode is dropped. It's not doing very well in like a critical, like an aggregate score.
Is it not?
No, unfortunately, it's not. I'm hoping it's just it's a new series and it'll get to where it needs to go, because I think it takes place in the 70s. And I think you literally see how Winston kind of became the manager of the Continental in New York or wherever it is they are in the first John Wick film.
I mean, it's not doing horrible. I mean, there's been worse. It's doing 64% on Rotten Tomato.
Okay.
It's 7. You know what? But that's misleading. Hang on a second.
Metacritic is better.
Yeah, so average tomato, the critic rating is 64%, but the viewer score is 81%.
Okay, well that's good. So we'll take that. Usually the audience score is a little closer to what we're going to be looking for as far as that goes. Not that you should ever let anybody tell you.
Says 7.5 out of 10.
So that's not bad. Has anybody checked it out? If you checked it out, sound off in the comments there. Let us know if you have. I only trust people I know, not those damn tomatoes. That is fair. I don't even trust people I know, because again, we all like different things. Like JS and I are two giant Trekkies, and he fucking hates Discovery, and I adore it. So it's, and I trust him.
And he doesn't like DS9, but he just fucking loves Voyager.
Okay. So first of all, let's condense a little bit of that nonsense.
The show where they had to bring a blonde in a cat suit to get people to watch.
I don't love Voyager. I enjoy Voyager. I don't hate DS9. I just don't get why you guys love it so much, because it literally is Deep Sleep Nine or Deep Space Nine, whatever they call it.
Well, the first couple seasons were for sure.
Whoo, Nelly.
Yeah, those first few seasons were.
I make up my own mind since 10th. Yeah, no, same. Like, obviously,
100%.
You always want to be able to look at something and judge it for yourself. I just think there's probably if it's universally considered dog shit, there's usually a reason why something is universally considered dog shit. And if it's universally praised, then there's usually a reason for that. That not always equate to something that's going to be within your taste buds, obviously. Like, it could be like Tar was universally praised, not my kind of movie. So it just depends on, whatever you're into. Enterprise didn't get good until season 4. That's what I keep hearing, because I gave up on it in season 2. Because you want to talk about putting that show is a good cure for insomnia. Because damn, son, that is a slow ass, boring ass. I don't care how much they try to pack that to Paul into whatever little cat suit. Fucking, we have to go in the decontaminator and take off all our clothes and rub jelly on it. The fuck out of here. Like, I know what you're doing. I get you're trying for the 7 of 9 effect on this show because nobody's watching it, but it was kind of the show that killed that era of Trek. Like, it only got 4 seasons, and when that show was done, there was no more Trek, and then they rebooted the film universe before we finally got to the TV universe that we're enjoying now, thanks to what's that show called that launched this current TV universe? I can't remember. It starts with a D. What's that called? Oh, right. Discovery. Anyways, good. There, that's nice. DS9 is amazing. Rewatching right now for Amagi references. That's cool.
I think it's Moogie.
Is it
talking
Moogie?
about? Yeah,
I don't know
that's what Quark and Rom, not Rom, Quark's brother. Wow, I'm having a brain cramp.
Isn't it Rom?
No, Rom is his brother's son.
Oh.
Anyway, that's what they call their mom.
Is it Rim?
Moogie.
Is it Rim?
No.
Like a rim job? Moogie, there you go. It's nice. It's good. Moogie.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I just didn't. I enjoyed DS9 for what it was. It just didn't connect with me on the same level as like TNG or even Voyager. I need my Star Trek to trek. I need it to go places. I don't want it just sitting in one spot on a Cardassian.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like
battle station or whatever it was.
DS9 had a real hard time finding a pacing that worked in a serial style show.
Right.
Where Trek was always and is always, for me, better as a episodic show.
Yes, I agree with that.
Where it's thrived, right?
Yes, that's how it started.
But where DS9 did it right, I feel like Discovery tried to take that same route, and for me, it just doesn't work.
No, that's cool, man. That's you're allowed to have that opinion, even when you're wrong.
I don't think the serial way to do Trek is necessarily the right way to do Trek at all. Because it worked for DS9, it doesn't mean it's the way to go, as far as I'm concerned.
Unless you're Picard season 3, and then it works like a motherfucker.
Well, I feel also what works a lot now is that the seasons are so short.
No, of course that helps.
So that helps
100%. 100%. You can't do 23 episodes. Dude, I'm 50, man. I remember watching network shows and looking forward to that next week, even though I don't have the attention span for that anymore, man. I can't do 23. People keep saying, check out Supernatural. Are you guys out of your fucking minds? There's 15 seasons. There's like 25 episodes a season. Yeah, who's got time for that?
No.
Nah, I don't have the patience for that anymore.
It is Rom, and his son is Nog.
How could you possibly mix those 3-letter words with an O in the middle? How could you possibly mix those up, Rom and Nog? Sounds like a Christmas drink. You want to pass me the Rom Nog, please? Sounds delicious.
Yeah. So,
terrible.
The Continental, I have not checked it out yet. I do have Prime, so I should watch it. I still haven't watched Twisted Metal, which apparently is just amazing. What's the other show?
Oh my God, Mel Gibson is in the Continental? Shit.
Apparently.
I will have to check that out then. Also, for our fantasy-loving fans, the second season of The Wheel of Time has also dropped on Amazon Prime. I believe there's 2 episodes out now. It might be 3. So if you enjoyed the first season of The Wheel of Time, the second season is out now and playing. It's I think the second most popular thing on Amazon Prime right now. At least it is on my Prime, anyways.
They had a big giant display at Fan Expo for the Wheel of Time.
Yes. So Continental is number 1, and right now Wheel of Time is number 2. So, I enjoyed the first season. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I also wasn't like, this is terrible. I don't want to see anymore. So I will be checking it. I'll probably wait till the second season's fully there, and then I'll just binge it one weekend, as we tend to like to do. Thank you, Netflix, for turning us all into that person. Hey, do you want to sit down and watch a 10-hour movie? Ew, no. What if we break it up into 1-hour episodes each, and you can watch it over an entire weekend? You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Well, I think where it works is you've got definitive stops if you're watching 10 episodes, right? So if you want to watch 2 or 3 episodes and then stop, you've got a proper definitive place you can stop and start again. It makes it easier to watch than a 10-hour friggin' movie, right?
Listen, I knew I was going to get roasted for shitting on Supernatural, but like season 3 of Supernatural is only 16 episodes. Ooh, thank you for saving me 7 episodes over 15 seasons. That's
yeah,
so
I mean,
guys, I'm going to be honest with you here. So Good Omens, second season of Good Omens on Prime as well.
Yes. Is that out?
Yes. Good Omens. I don't know if it's all out, but Good Omens. Also Megan saying Good Omens. So good. Gave me so many emotions.
Such a fantastic show.
So here's the guys. I love Michael Sheen. I love David Tennant. I have a weird fascination with like angels and demons and heaven and hell and that. I tried twice to watch the first season, and I can't do.
Really?
I can't.
Oh, I loved it.
I can't. So I don't know what to tell you guys. See, this is one of those things where like I don't want to shit on you for liking it. I don't want anybody shitting on me for not liking it. We just like different things. But that show is so universally praised, and I'm just like, I've tried, man. I've tried twice, and I can't get into it. I get like halfway through the second episode and I'm falling asleep and looking at my phone and just doing other shit because I don't care. I'm not engaged, nothing. So
it's when you know you're getting old, bud.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely. JS is a man of taste, says editor Megan Murray.
There you go.
I think I'm going to have to question her membership in the Geeks and Co. here. That's,
I love Good Omens. Such a great show.
And
they've had this online. I don't know if I want to call it like an online show, but they've had this online YouTube thing going for years, those two.
Oh, they're like super best friends.
Yeah.
And that content, I'll watch when they're comparing pictures that they made And David Tennant's got like this terrible hand-drawn pineapple, and Michael Sheen whips up this beautiful oil painting, and David Tennant's music is like, fuck off. Like it's great. The interaction between the two of them is wonderful. Just in the setting of the show, I can't, man. I can't interface with it. So
it's funny because that's how I see them in the show.
No, that's, granted.
To me, the show is that in the context of Angels and Demons, right?
And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, because if you watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and if you watch any of the stuff outside the MCU, you know Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan are like super fucking best friends. Their chemistry off screen is off the charts, which was weird because they had fucking zero in that show. Chemistry together. So sometimes it translates well, sometimes it doesn't. You can tell with those two, with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, it does translate well both on and off screen, but something about the nature of the show itself just didn't grab me or whatever. So Tristina Belanger saying, I mean, I would gladly binge all 7 Harry Potters or all 6 LOTR or even the 8-hour 10th Kingdom. So yeah, and again, I just literally watched Fellowship of the Ring yesterday, the day before. I'm going to watch The Two Towers. I'm going to watch Return of the King. Like, you can't not, but there's people that don't like those films. That's cool. You're allowed to not like shit. Supernatural did a crossover with Scooby-Doo called Scooby Natural. Well,
yes, I remember that.
You're not exactly selling me on this concept. I'm not going to lie. Though Megan Avery said the Scooby crossover is coming in hot. Jeff, if not an Omens fan, what did you think of Sandman? Fucking loved Sandman. Absolutely adores. In fact, I've been thinking about getting back and doing a rewatch. So really, really dug Sandman. Yeah. So looking forward to season 2 for sure.
Seeing them, I was the complete opposite. I watched the first episode and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a bit of a slow start for sure. I mean, he's
and
trapped on Earth for like 100 years. So yeah, I get it. Yeah,
I should go back and at least give it a couple episodes a try. But
look at this. Look at this fucking guy. This Monday Night Nerd guy. You cannot like certain things. I'll remember that, Jeff. Listen, you crossed the line, son. There's a difference. Okay. You can't say your worst comic book film of all time is The Dark Knight. I'm sorry. You are discredited.
The movie that is widely regarded as the best comic book movie of all time.
It is. We're taking away your geek card. You are no longer a member. That you deserve every ounce of piss taken on you for that, because that is.
By the way, guys, if you're not following Myers Corp, make sure you go follow Myers Corp Creation on Instagram. Today. That reel he posted today was genius.
He beat me to it. There was one I wanted to do that wasn't quite that. It was similar to that with just me, you, and Rob. I might still post it, but now it's gonna look like I'm copying him. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah. I agree. Dark Knight sucks. Tanith, again, your opinion on this is just as good as Michael's. Non-existent. It doesn't matter what you guys are saying on this one because you guys are just fucking wrong. He will never live that down, says Megan Avery. You are not wrong. He won't.
I don't think he will.
Because at least Tanith, you just say this at parties to get a reaction. I'm fine with that. You know what? Like at gatherings, cool. This motherfucker puts it on his podcast and posts it on his social media with a list. And he's got The Dark Knight at number 1. The fuck out of here, man. No. This aggression will not stand, man. David Tennant voices Huyang on Ahsoka. Yeah, I know what you're doing there, Dean. I get it. I mentioned this before the podcast. I watched the first couple of episodes of Ahsoka, and I didn't know that's who voiced Huyang. And I was like, oh, this droid's cool. I like him. I dig it. And then someone told me that was David Tennant, and now all I can hear is David Tennant. It kind of ruined it a little bit for me.
Well, I don't know, man. He's doing a really good job, too. Like, he's probably one of my, next to Balin, he's probably my next favorite character right now.
Yeah, guys, help me out with this too. Are there times where that droid is actually there?
What do you mean?
I mean, are there times, especially when they're seated on the ship, is there a physical
there has to be, because there's scenes where she touches him, right?
And it looks flawless. Now I understand certain scenes he's clearly not there, Like when he's fighting the other robot guy and he's got all these
feel like
fucking
when he's
arms and everything
static in the
else.
seat and it's just his head moving,
That's
he's
got to be
probably
there, right?
there.
Like he's got to be there because
that can't be all CG.
If it is, it's bonkers. It's some of the best because there has not been a single moment in 7 episodes where Hu Yang is taking me out of the show thinking, oh, that's an effect or oh, that's whatever. He looks like he's there all the fucking time, even though there's a part of my brain where it's like, well, he's clearly not there in that particular scene. I think he's in the dot suit. Is he? Is it just David Tennant just in a fucking dot suit the whole time? Well, that's what Dean's saying. He's saying CGI would not look that good. I wouldn't think so. Now I know because he's a droid, he's static, right? Like other than his eyeballs, kind of whatever. It's not like you don't have facial, like things aren't moving on a droid. A droid is just straight up just a droid. Now so is IG-11 in Mando, is that droid physically there all the time, or is that also a dude in a dot suit? But I feel Hu Yang has got more things going on him.
Yeah, I can't find anything here about.
Guys, look this up for us if you can find it. Is Hu Yang actually there at any point, by the way? Maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe they built a full-size Hu Yang to sit in the pilot seat, like maybe just from the waist up or whatever, so that Ahsoka can reach out and like touch him and talk to him, and it'll look more like he's actually there because he is. And then in other scenes where he's like, I don't know,
when he's standing up and moving and talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he's training Sabine with the lightsabers and shit. You know he's not there. He can't be there, but it still looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
IG has puppeteers. Okay, so IG is actually physically there. It's just it's a puppet thing. All right, that actually makes sense. But IG is not.
IG doesn't humanoid. Move a lot.
No, and he's not humanoid in shape and appearance. Like he's much taller, he's much skinnier, he's got the weird looking head. Hu Yang is like proportionate. You know what I mean? You might be surprised by the CGI. You're probably right, dude. But if that is CGI, like chef's fucking kiss. Like it's flawless. Yeah. It's really, really good.
But David Tennant brings him to life, right? And I think he's
a
big part of Hu Yang feeling so real.
You saw this week's episode, right?
Yeah.
There's another droid that puts in a small appearance in this week's episode.
Well, we're not going to spoil that today.
No, we're not spoiling anything at all.
Came out. Well, I mean, that came out a couple days ago, I guess.
I'm just saying, right? Like it's like we know that particular one is live action all the time. Like that's never been anything but that guy in a suit, right? So it's not like it can't be done. But I feel like even he's not as articulated as Hu Yang is. So
no, but you got to remember, you're taking a droid that was designed and shot in the early 70s.
Oh, now you're really spoiling it. Now everybody knows who it is.
Right.
Should we just say? We should probably just say.
All right, guys. 3PO makes an appearance on Ahsoka this week.
C-3PO is not only does C-3PO make an appearance, but Princess Leia is referenced directly by name. So obviously they can't show her, but they do reference her by name. So C-3PO is just C-3PO, man. It's just Anthony Daniels in a suit. It always has been and always will be. So it's not like it can't be done. But at the end of the not this time, dot suit is what Keith is saying. All right.
So is it David Tennant in a dot suit all the time, or is it just some person in a dot suit and David Tennant does the voiceover later? Again, is it a combination of both, right? Is it a person in a dot suit sometimes and some practical pieces other times?
Yeah, it's never a practical shot. It's never like even when they're on the ship and he's just sitting there. That's never not just really.
It's hard to believe, because it looks so good.
That's impressive. Not gonna lie, it looks amazeballs. So.
Okay, we need to stop talking about Ahsoka.
Sorry.
This is always,
we're fucking it up. No, I get it.
But
tune into the after show if you want more of our opinions on Ahsoka.
Yeah. What a show.
Yeah.
Guys, it's already 8:00. We've been on already for an hour. We have a long night ahead of us because we got to get the cars packed.
Yeah, we might as well
get everything done. So we're gonna get wrapped up here. But guys, once again, we are gonna be at Windsor Northern National Collectors Convention this weekend. We're leaving bright and early tomorrow morning. We will be there, hopefully, on the show floor, set up by 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And we're there till 4 p.m. on Sunday. So come and check us out if you're in the area. There's also going to be an after party on Friday night, I believe, at 10 p.m. at the Scare House. Is that what it's called?
Like, we're going to make it to 10 p.m. Are you at your
Well, we'll see. We'll probably be half past out, but
exactly.
Dean is saying, see, they're setting up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yeah, we won't be there by 10. I mean, we're unfortunately like coming through Toronto in rush hour traffic. It's not going to be fun. So
exactly.
Tasha's saying safe travels, have lots of fun, geeks. Thank you very, very, very much. It should be fun.
Enjoy Windsor, saying Nada. Absolutely. I'm sure we will. I mean, it's Windsor, it's tough to enjoy, but I mean, we'll make the best of it for sure.
Oh no, we'll have a good time, believe me. We'll
it's the Geeks, we'll have a good time. Yeah,
you
exactly. Yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna be it. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Nope. Stay geeky, friends.
See you next week.
See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Geek Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to make sure you never miss an episode.